High up in an ancient apple tree lived a peculiar little apple named Pip. Unlike his perfectly round, rosy red siblings, Pip was slightly lopsided and had a unique golden-green hue. While other apples boasted about their perfect shape and bright color, Pip spent his days observing the world below, dreaming of adventures beyond the tree's branches. One particular autumn morning, Pip noticed something unusual. The other apples were disappearing one by one, carefully picked by the farmer's gentle hands. However, due to his odd appearance, Pip remained untouched on his branch, watching as his family members were carried away in wooden baskets. As days passed, Pip found himself alone on the tree, accompanied only by the whistling wind and occasional visiting birds. His heart grew heavy with loneliness, but one wise old crone, Edgar, took notice of his sadness. "What do you say here, little apple?" Edgar asked. "Your destiny lies beyond this branch." The crow's words stirred something deep within Pip. That night, as a strong breeze rustled through the leaves, Pip made a brave decision. Instead of holding tighter to his branch as he usually did, he allowed himself to let go. His heart raced as he fell through the cool night air. The real adventure began when Pip landed not on the ground, but in a small stream that ran beneath the tree. The current carried him away from the only home he'd ever known, into a world full of unknown wonders and challenges. Despite his fear, Pip felt a thrill of excitement. As he floated along, Pip encountered various creatures who had never seen a traveling apple before. A family of ducks helped guide him around dangerous rocks, while playful otters showed him how to navigate the swifter parts of the stream. Each new friend taught him something valuable about courage and adaptability. The most challenging moment came when the stream approached a waterfall. Pip's mind raced as he heard the thundering water ahead. Just before the drop, a quick, thinking kingfisher named Blue swooped down and suggested he catch onto some overhanging reeds to avoid the fall. Using all his strength, Pip managed to roll himself toward the reeds, his unusual shape actually helping him grip onto the plants more effectively. As he caught his breath, suspended a waterfall, he realized that the very thing he thought was a flaw, his lopsided form, had just saved his life. During his pause by the waterfall, Pip met an elderly turtle who shared ancient stories about the valley below. The turtle spoke of a magical garden where fruits and vegetables lived together in harmony, accepting and celebrating their differences. This garden, known as the Haven of Misfits, was said to welcome all produce that didn't quite fit in elsewhere. Inspired by these tales, Pip decided to search for this mysterious garden. He carefully planned his next move, waiting for the right moment when the wind could help guide him to a safer path down. His journey continued through meadows and forests, rolled along by kind animals and carried by helpful winds. Pip discovered that his unique golden-green color made him easily visible to helpful creatures, while allowing him to blend in with foliage when necessary to avoid danger. What he had once seen as an imperfection became a valuable tool for survival. The most intense part of his journey came when he found himself in the middle of a harvest festival in a small village. Children were playing games, tossing apples into buckets of water. Pip worried he would be spotted and added to their games, but then he noticed something extraordinary: a small girl who was different from the others, sitting alone and watching the festivities from afar. Using careful timing and the help of a gentle breeze, Pip rolled himself toward the girl. When she picked him up, her eyes widened with wonder at his unique appearance. Instead of throwing him into the games, she carefully placed him in her pocket, seeming to understand that he was special. The girl turned out to be the granddaughter of the keeper of the Haven of Misfits. She recognized something special in Pip and brought him to the magical garden he had been seeking. There, Pip found an amazing community of fruits and vegetables that didn't quite fit the usual standards: curved cucumbers, heart-shaped tomatoes, and multicolored carrots. In the Haven, Pip learned that his journey had given him wisdom that could help others. He began sharing his stories with newly arrived fruits and vegetables, helping them understand that their differences were actually gifts. His tales of adventure and self-discovery inspired others to embrace their unique qualities. As seasons passed, Pip's golden, green skin gradually began to wrinkle, but his spirit grew ever brighter. He became known as the Sage of the Haven, teaching young produce that true beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors. He established a tradition of welcoming ceremonies for newcomers, ensuring that no fruit or vegetable ever felt as lonely as he once had. The Haven flourished under Pip's influence, becoming a place where diversity was celebrated and differences were seen as strengths. Children from the nearby village would visit the garden, learning valuable lessons about acceptance and inner beauty from the unusual but wonderful produce they found there. Years later, when Pip had grown old and wise, he realized that his greatest adventure hadn't been the journey itself, but the discovery that being different was to floor it was a gift that allowed him to change the lives of others. His story became legend in the Haven, passed down through generations of fruits and vegetables. The little apple who had once felt so alone on his branch had created a legacy of acceptance and understanding that would continue to grow and flourish, just like the magical garden he called home. And though he never became the perfectly round, rosy red apple he had once wished to be, he had become something far more valuable: a beacon of hope for all those who felt different in their own special way.